Right now, at this very moment, you're lying to yourself. Don't worry, I'm not psychic. I just know that every human brain tells roughly 200 lies per day, and the vast majority of them, they're to ourselves. This isn't about being a bad person. You're not morally flawed or uniquely deceptive. This is about having a human brain that evolved to protect your ego more than tell you the truth. Think about this morning. You woke up, looked at your phone, saw the time, and thought something like, I'll just check one thing quickly. 30 minutes later, you're deep in someone's vacation photos from 2019 and you smoothly explain to yourself, I needed to wake up properly anyway. That tiny moment, that's what you do all day long, spinning reality into comfortable fiction. Here's what's wild. If I hooked you up to a brain scanner right now, I could watch you lying to yourself in real time. Scientists have found that self-deception activates the same regions as external lying, except faster and more efficiently. You're so good at lying to yourself, you don't even realize you're doing it. We're all walking around as the unreliable narrator of our own life story, convinced we're telling the truth. Chapter 1. Your Brain, the Con Artist. Your brain just lied to you 3 times since I started this video. When I said you're lying to yourself, your brain immediately went, well, maybe sometimes, not as much as other people. That's lie number 1. Then you thought, I should watch this to understand how other people deceive themselves. Lie number 2. And right now, your brain is insisting it didn't do either of those things. Lie number 3. Here's what's actually happening inside your head. Your brain has 2 systems running simultaneously, one that knows the truth and one that creates the story you can live with. They're both active right now, like having 2 TVs on different channels. The storytelling system is louder, more persistent, and guess what? It has veto power over the truth system. When reality threatens your self-image, your brain literally blocks the pathways to that information. We call this cognitive dissonance. But that's just a fancy way of saying your brain would rather rewrite reality than admit it was wrong. It's like having an internal PR team that works 24/7, no holidays, no sick days, completely dedicated to making you look good in your own mind. When confronted with evidence that contradicts your beliefs, the emotional regions activate first, before logic even gets the memo. Your feelings are literally faster than your facts. Chapter 2. The Morning Lie Ritual. Every morning you perform the same ritual of self-deception, and it's so smooth you don't even notice. The alarm goes off. Just 5 more minutes, which you know is a lie because you've never once stopped at 5 minutes in your entire life. You check your phone quickly, spending 20 minutes in digital quicksand. You look in the mirror and think, I look tired, when you mean I stayed up too late again, despite promising myself I wouldn't. Then comes breakfast, where you tell yourself that coffee counts as a meal, or that you're doing intermittent fasting when really you just didn't plan ahead. You think I'll grab something healthy later? The same lie your stomach has heard every day this week. This morning routine of deception is so automated, you don't even notice it happening. You know what's happening here? Your brain is protecting you from the overwhelming reality of changing your behavior. Because if you actually face the truth every morning, that you're choosing comfort over your goals, that you're prioritizing scrolling over sleeping, that you're not the person you pretend to be, the emotional weight would be crushing. So your brain does what it does best. It tells you a story where you're still the hero, just temporarily delayed by circumstances. We're all protagonists in a fiction novel, where the author keeps promising the character development is coming in the next chapter. Chapter 3. The Comfort Zone Conspiracy. Stop for a second. You're doing it right now. While listening to this, you're sorting everything I'm saying into 2 categories. Applies to me and applies to other people. And guess which pile is bigger? You're literally deciding that you're the exception to psychological rules that apply to everyone else. That's the comfort zone conspiracy in action. Your comfort zone isn't actually comfortable. It's just familiar. But you've pulled off the greatest rebranding campaign in history, convincing yourself that familiar equals safe, and safe equals good. Think about it. You'll stay in situations that make you miserable because the devil you know has somehow become your best friend. You'll keep toxic habits because a voice in your head whispers, "At least you know what to expect." Here's the kicker. Your comfort zone is shaped exactly like your favorite lies. Every boundary of that zone is just another story you tell yourself. I'm not a morning person? That's a wall. I can't speak in public. Another wall. I'm bad with money. There's your ceiling. You're living in a prison where you're both the architect and the inmate. And the bars? They're made of words you keep repeating until they feel like truth. Chapter 4. The Tomorrow Trap. Tomorrow you is apparently a superhero. Tomorrow you wakes up at 5 a.m., hits the gym, meal preps, starts that business, calls your mom, reads for an hour, meditates, and still has time to learn Portuguese. Meanwhile, today, you can't even find matching socks. We've created this mythical future version of ourselves who has unlimited willpower, zero procrastination, and somehow figured out how to add extra hours to the day. The tomorrow trap is your favorite lie because it requires zero evidence. You can't fact-check the future. When tomorrow becomes today and you don't do any of those things, you just smoothly push it to the next tomorrow. It's like a subscription service for procrastination that auto-renews every 24 hours. Scientists call this temporal discounting. We value present comfort over future benefits at an irrational rate. Your brain literally sees future you as a different person. Brain scans show that when people think about themselves in the future, the same regions activate as when thinking about strangers. No wonder we keep making promises tomorrow you has to keep. We're essentially signing contracts on behalf of someone else. Tomorrow you is just current you with a scheduling conflict and a resentment problem. Join our YouTube membership and get exclusive perks like early access to scripts, input on future topics about productivity, and connect with a like-minded community that gets it. Click join below and let's build your easier, more intentional life together. Chapter 5. The Comparison Delusion. You know that person who seems to have it all together? They're lying to themselves too, but you've convinced yourself that everyone else's highlight reel is their behind the scenes. You scroll through social media thinking everyone's living their best life, while you're stuck in some bizarre blooper reel that never ends. Plot twist. They're thinking the exact same thing about you. Here's the comparison delusion in action. When you succeed, you think it's because you're talented. When others succeed, you assume they got lucky or had advantages. When you fail, it's circumstances. When they fail, it's their fault. You're running a full propaganda campaign where you're simultaneously the underdog hero and the only one facing real challenges. The neuroscience is hilarious. Your brain has mirror neurons that are supposed to help you understand others by simulating their experiences. But these neurons have a major glitch. They can't simulate what you can't imagine. So when you see someone confident, your brain can't compute their internal anxiety. When you see success, you miss all their failures. You're comparing your complete internal experience with everyone else's edited external presentation. It's like comparing your rough draft to everyone else's published book and wondering why your writing looks messy. Chapter 6. The Ability Illusion. This is my favorite one. The worse you are at something, the more you overestimate your ability. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's basically your internal participation trophy system. The people who are least competent are the most confident because, wait for it, they lack the competence to recognize their incompetence. Think about driving. 90% of people believe they're above-average drivers. Unless cars are operating in some parallel universe where math doesn't apply, most of us are delusional about our skills. You probably think you're a good listener while you're mentally preparing your response. You think you're good at multitasking while your productivity data screams in disagreement. You believe you're logical while making decisions based entirely on what you had for breakfast. But here's where it gets really wild. Experts actually underestimate their abilities. The more you know about something, the more you realize how much you don't know. So we have beginners walking around with unearned confidence while experts doubt themselves. Your brain has created a system where confidence and competence are inversely related. We're all walking around in a backwards world where Knowing less makes you feel like you know more. Chapter 7. The Time Thief. I don't have time might be the biggest lie you tell yourself right after just one more episode. You have the same 24 hours as everyone else, but you've convinced yourself that your time operates differently. You'll spend 3 hours researching the perfect productivity system instead of just being productive. That's like spending your entire food budget on cookbooks while starving. Track your time for one day. Honestly, track it. And prepare for existential crisis. You'll discover you spent 47 minutes choosing what to watch on Netflix, 2 hours in quick social media checks, and somehow an entire hour disappeared into what scientists call the phone vortex. That phenomenon where you pick up your phone to check the weather, and suddenly you're watching videos of cats being scared by cucumbers. You treat time like a renewable resource when it's the only thing you can't get back. You convince yourself that important things can wait while urgent but meaningless tasks deserve immediate attention. You're essentially running a Ponzi scheme with your own hours, borrowing from future you to pay present you's procrastination debt. The average person spends 2.5 hours per day on social media. That's 9 years of your life. Watching other people pretend their lives are better than yours, while you pretend your time doesn't matter. Chapter 8. The Mirror Moment. Here's a technique that'll crack your self-deception wide open. Go to a mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and say out loud the lie you tell yourself most often. Watch your micro-expressions. Your face will betray you faster than your brain can cover it up. That tiny eye movement, that slight mouth twitch, that almost imperceptible shoulder tension. That's your truth system trying to break through the propaganda. The 5-second pause technique is even simpler. Before explaining any behavior to yourself, pause for 5 full seconds. Just 5 seconds of silence before your excuse factory starts running. In that pause, the truth often whispers before the lies can shout. You'll catch yourself mid-rationalization, like walking in on your brain trying to hide evidence. Start keeping a prediction journal. Write down what you think will happen when you'll finish tasks, how you'll feel after decisions. Then record what actually happens. Within a week, you'll have documented proof of your self-deception patterns. It's like installing a security camera in your own mind. Your brain hates this because accountability is kryptonite to self-deception. The gap between your predictions and reality, that's exactly the size of your self-deception problem. Chapter 9. The Reality Checkpoint. This is where everything clicks. Once you start catching yourself in lies, you can't unsee it. It's like those optical illusions. Once you see both images, you can switch between them at will. You develop what psychologists call metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Suddenly, you're not just in the movie of your life, you're also watching from the audience. The reality checkpoint technique is brutally effective. 3 times a day, set an alarm. When it goes off, ask yourself, what am I lying to myself about right now? First time, your brain will insist nothing. That's lie number 1. Push deeper. Are you really almost done with that task? Are you genuinely fine with that situation? Is this actually just for today? Build reality partners into your life. Find people who love you enough to call out your self-deception. Not critics who tear you down, but truth tellers who want you to grow. Your brain can lie to you, but it has a harder time maintaining the lie when someone else points it out. It's like having a spotter at the gym for your mental gymnastics. They can see when you're about to drop the weight of truth on yourself. Chapter 10. The Truth Experiment. Here's your mission should you choose to accept it. For the next 7 days, you're going to run the truth experiment. Every morning, write down 3 lies you'll probably tell yourself that day. Not goals, not aspirations, lies. I'll go to bed early. I won't check my phone during work. I'll eat healthy today. Whatever your greatest hits are. Then, at the end of each day, check off which ones you told. No judgment, no shame, just data. You're a scientist studying the fascinating specimen of your own self-deception. By day 3, you'll start catching yourself in the act. By day 5, you'll predict your lies with scary accuracy. By day 7, you'll have developed a superpower. the ability to hear your own lies as you tell them. But here's the real plot twist. Self-deception isn't your enemy. It's a tool that's been running on autopilot. Once you understand it, you can use it consciously. You can choose empowering stories instead of limiting ones. You can tell yourself you're becoming someone who follows through and then act like that person until it becomes true. The biggest lie you tell yourself daily doesn't have to stay a lie. When you catch yourself in the act, you get to choose. Keep the comfortable lie or grab the uncomfortable truth and transform it into tomorrow's reality. Your brain has been lying to you for your entire life, and it's not going to stop today. But now you know its tricks. Now you can catch it mid-lie and choose differently. The truth might be uncomfortable, but it's also where your power lives. So, what lie are you going to catch yourself telling tomorrow? And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared. Oh, and there's more. I've just started a Patreon to help support these videos and connect with you more directly. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to join.